Oh great, it's Jeff. The live-action remake, photorealism. Here I am, man. On today's show, we're gonna talk about some, hot news. Lots of hot news this week, including the last shot of Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, why Dave Chappelle did A Star is Born, and who Keanu Reeves could play in the MCU. So stick around. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show where we go over some of CinemaBlend's hottest headlines and I spout opinions from the perspective of a Hollywood newcomer. It's like a lot of fun. So without further delay, let's just jump into it. Our number 5 story of the week. The Lion King director Jon Favreau reveals the only real shot in the movie. So while the Lion King remake is casually referred to as live action, it's actually just super realistic looking CGI. Could have fooled me. I thought they taught lions how to speak English. Well, anyway, it turns out there is actually one live action shot in the film. Just one. Director Jon Favreau posted this to Twitter. This is the only real shot in The Lion King. There are 1,490 rendered shots created by animators and CG artists. I slipped in one single shot that we actually photographed in Africa to see if anyone would notice. It is the first shot of the movie that begins the circle of life. Well, I certainly didn't notice. I actually would have guessed that more of the landscape shots were real. They even did like CG time lapses. It was super impressive. So congrats, you fooled an idiot. I had a fundamental misunderstanding of how that type of CGI worked until recently. You could have told me the whole film was live action and I would have believed you. In that case, should we really be calling it live action? We should call it like animated but really good. The remake that's animated once again, but creates the illusion of live action. That would have been a little long, I guess, for marketing. The ultra-realistic, expressionless faces of the characters was a major factor that played into the response to the film. I do a whole video about it. Actually, you can check out the link in the description. In at number 4, Dave Chappelle agreed to be in A Star is Born so Bradley Cooper would leave him alone. I love this story because I loved A Star is Born and I loved Chappelle in it.
It's the first time I'm worried about you.
He told the story during a portion of his Dave Chappelle Live on Broadway set. So Bradley Cooper and Dave Chappelle first met through Kanye West, which is the way every good celebrity story begins. And apparently Cooper wanted Chappelle in the film so badly that he called every 2 days to bug him about it. Chappelle says that he took on the role just so that Cooper would leave him alone. He went on to say this: "He sent me the script, but I never read the script. I didn't know the shit was going to be good." He never even read the script, and the film went on to receive 8 Oscar nominations. That's great. I love that Cooper just knew how good Chappelle would be and knew what a great idea that was. To have Chappelle in this ultra dramatic role right after his comedy career blows back up. This is also just good career advice, courtesy of Dave Chappelle and Bradley Cooper. If you pester somebody enough, particularly every 2 days, you can get them to participate in your creative projects, even if they are the biggest comedian in the world right now.
It's because I made so much money last year.
In at number 3, see Grey's Anatomy's epic cast photo as season Sweet 16 starts filming. 16 seasons? Grey's Anatomy is in its 16th season? I was 15 and in high school when that show started. Now I'm 30 and hella bald. How did this happen? I'm still bitter that Newsroom only got 3. Grey's Anatomy gets 16? Meredith Grey needs to quit already. Ambulances exploding, hospitals exploding, her loved ones dying. I didn't know that being a doctor was like the most dangerous job ever. This is too much. This is too much. It's too much. It needs to end. I'm not even gonna show you the cast photo in question because I'm too pissed off and emotionally exhausted. In at number 2, the last shot of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker will melt your mind, Kevin Smith teases. Star Wars Episode 9 is a-comin', and Kevin Smith has a story about the final shot of the film. No spoilers, don't trip. J.J. Abrams invited Smith to Pinewood Studios where they were shooting, and apparently everyone kept telling him about this mind-melting set. So he asked Abrams himself what all of the fuss was about and said this about the exchange the two of them had. He said, "It's the last shot of the movie." So I was like, well, now I really want to see it. He said, "You don't want to be spoiled. You want to be in a theater when this happens. Trust me." And then other people on the crew were like, "Bro, I wish I hadn't seen it. I'm glad I did, but it will melt your mind." Well, shit. It's the last set of the movie, man. And it's mind-melting. That was Lucas too, so it's relevant. Honestly, given the fact that we're talking about the final shot of this entire trilogy, I'm like, yeah, it better be impressive. I just love it that Smith was geeking out. He could have seen the set and chose not to because he trusts Abrams. That story got me pretty stoked for the film. We can all assume that the shot in question is this. Just over and over again. Well, speaking of Smith spoilers, I'm a little surprised he didn't go to that set. Apparently the man is a glutton for spoiling shit, according to his daughter, Harley Quinn Smith, who I talked to at Comic-Con. A big reveal in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot trailer was that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck would be returning, which is awesome. But it seems that his daughter slash co-star Harley, like usual, had to talk her dad down from revealing it all too fast on social media. Check it out.
I'm always the one telling my dad, like, do not spoil this. Because he's always like, he wants to tell, the second that Ben agreed to do the movie, like, he wanted to tell the world, and I was like, dude, wait. Like, I swear, you need to wait. And so he waited till the trailer came out, and then he could finally tell people. But I needed to convince him to do that. So he always wants to, like, tell every detail about the movie, to the point that I'm like, everybody's gonna know the movie, like, before it comes out. Every single day when somebody new came on set, he'd be like, let's post a picture, and I was like, calm down, like save something. But he saved Ben and Matt till the trailer, so I was proud of him for keeping that.
And it was effective, you know.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, can you imagine, like, when people find this out, and then when they found out, they lost their shit.
Adorable. He's just got that geek excitement, man. He can't help it. It sounds to me like maybe he skipped out on that Rise of Skywalker set because he wouldn't have been able to keep his mouth shut. Our ReelBlend co-host, Kevin McCarthy, was actually responsible for reuniting Kevin Smith and Ben Affleck. Kevin Smith came on the most recent podcast to talk all about it, so check out the link in the description. Anyway, it is time for our #1 story of the week. What MCU role should Keanu Reeves play the Russo brothers consider? So, the Russo brothers, as you likely know, are the directors of Avengers Endgame. They're pretty much the hottest in the MCU right now. Well, recently they were asked by Kevin Smith who the internet's favorite person Keanu Reeves could play if inducted into the MCU. This is how the exchange went down. Anthony Russo, that's a good question. Joe Russo, I don't know, it's limitless, right? Who would you put him in? Kevin Smith, Moon Knight. Joe Russo, right, that's a good call. I'm not super well versed on this character. I had no idea what his alter ego even looked like. Then once I looked it up, I was like, oh yeah, that's Keanu. And knowing how the MCU works, I would say there's even a chance that this could come to fruition one day. They're nabbing up every A-lister that's around these days, man. Soon, Keanu is gonna be the only one that's left. Moon Knight has been long rumored, but this is just fun speculation. Even though I personally am not sure if I'd be able to move past his easily distinguishable voice.
Whoa!
The accent has been an issue before.
I doubted everything. Even my mind.
Like how Josh Brolin grew up in California and I seem to be the only person I know who thinks that Thanos sounds like a freaking surfer.
Your politics bore me. Your demeanor is that of a pouty child.
Whoa!
Well, that's it, man. Episode 9 in the bag. This is my Rise of Skywalker, I guess. And this is my mind-melting set piece in live action. Photorealism. If you found this somewhat funny or informative or tolerable, do me a solid. Hit subscribe so you can check out more Oh Great It's Jeff as we release new episodes every Friday. Also, CinemaBlend is making all kinds of dope stuff on the regular and you're gonna wanna check it out. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.